In the meetings, the breeders that they flew in, one of them said they had no citations, and it was found that they did have citations. And one of the citations was for allowing young puppies to be in freezing weather unprotected.
The comments that you just heard in the beginning of this clip, when I first heard them, I didn't know whether to laugh or to cry. It was just so ridiculous, I guess I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But this is what this video is about. To begin with, we have never allowed a puppy on the outside here unattended. I don't work this kennel alone. My husband, my grandson, and I have a lady that works for me as many hours a week as I need her. I apologize if I get off track. This video has not been scripted, and I have a lot of information to try to get to you in just a short period of time. Along with working full-time here in the kennel now for about 10 years, David and I have been a working farm for about 25. We put the kennel in so that I would have the opportunity to get out of my management job in manufacturing and stay here full-time on the job, or here in the kennel, and it is my full-time job now. I also work as a breeder advisor and speak publicly supporting breeder rights, and that's really what this comments that this woman made in the beginning is about. I was in Arizona speaking to a city council group, and the question was asked of me. These folks were trying to understand the working operations of a kennel. The question was asked of me if I had any violations, and my answer was no. They were two indirect violations. Now, the animal activists know the difference between an indirect and a direct violation, but they prey on the fact that probably most of the public does not. If my inspector give me an indirect violation, that simply would mean that there was something there that needed to be corrected. It could be as simple as paperwork, or it might be a maintenance violation. My two violations that I had had in the past were both in an adult building and did not concern a puppy. There was no freezing rain or no poor little puppy. The violation stated that I had 3 days to correct the issues. One of them was dragging bedding out. There wasn't enough bedding in the doghouse. And the other one was for a female bulldog who had chewed her door frame and the wood was exposed. Now those may sound petty to you, but they're not to an inspector, and when they're seen, they are wrote up, and as far as I know, as long as anybody wants to research my licensing, those could still be viewed 20 years from now. But what the public doesn't know, they can go to the USDA website and they can see those two violations, and they'll also see that in the years prior to that, I hadn't had any violations, and I believe now for 3 years since. I really don't know if this lady, if she had been promoted to say those things, knowing that in that meeting I would not be there to defend myself, or maybe she was just misled. My facilities here, we have 4 buildings. We are in the process of replacing 3 of them with these metal state-of-art, like you see, that have better heating and cooling. Efficiently, they are much better. Although the buildings that we are using that are wood framed are heated and cooled as well. But there's just a big opportunity there to get those indirect violations because of the wood. And anytime wood is exposed in these kennel buildings, it is an indirect violation. Again, indirect would be a simple not harming an animal, and a direct violation would be something that would harm the animal, and in which case probably your inspector at that time would make preparations to have animals removed and your license revoked. All buildings here set within 80 feet of my home. I have a big open yard here. Buildings are placed so that I can step out on porches at any time and see dogs or hear dogs.
We're proud of what we do here, and we're glad you can take this time to look at us. This is Annie. Annie is a Chihuahua that I'm getting ready to retire for a pet. Annie will have the opportunity to go to a home. We will potty train her, socialize her, and start interviewing. She's a good little dog. She's been good to us here. Yeah, we love you, Annie. In the beginning, I sold to just individuals, but that is so time consuming with customer service, the interviewing process. I'm in central Missouri. I'm not very well located for people to come in, although my facility is always open to tour. It's hard for people to get here. I chose to sell to pet stores. There is a need for good breeders to place good quality puppies in pet stores, and there are always those individuals that choose to go to that store frontage to buy a puppy because they can't get to the country to pick out a puppy. So we chose to go in the dog business. We wanted to do it large enough to replace my manufacturing income, but stay small enough that each dog would know its own name, that I could handle each dog every day and be successful. We've been licensed now for about 7 or 8 years, and in the industry altogether about 7. The dog is free to them, but these 3 different veterinarians that we use, we make them purchase a spay or neuter ticket, and then they take that female then to the veterinarian of their choice out of the 3 and have the female spayed and neutered before she actually goes to their home for full time. What bothers me the most in the pet industry right now is the term puppy mill. And I think that there are those places that do exist, and I think they're sad and they're devastating to our industry, both for the pet stores and for the breeders. Gonna see some wire? Yes, you will, because USDA and state of Missouri requires that I contain dogs to keep them safe. But look around. My dogs go inside and outside at will. Each run has 4 little dogs in it. These dogs aren't chained, they aren't starved. Look around and learn the difference between a good breeder and a bad breeder, because for every one bad, I'll bet you'll find 10 good ones.